Hello, this is Lady Grace. How are you? I wanted to come on today and talk about and actually use the Les Vampires um, guide book or the Oracle cards today to talk about why you may be struggling in your current relationship. So we have 3 cards out. So there's 1, 2, 3. So just take a minute to kind of feel in for yourself as to what card fits you and your situation or you and yourself. And once you pick the card, just kind of keep it in mind or go right to the time where that card is being turned, okay? So, what is causing issue in your relationship right now? So, the first one is supernatural, inexplicable, miraculous, otherworldly. So, what I'm feeling into this card, the supernatural has a lot of different, things to it, but you know, it could be the word karma that's coming up, although that's not a very accurate term. Um, but it could be that you have an attachment to this person that you're with or are trying to be with, right? That's not currently from this lifetime; it's from other lifetimes. So you just are unnaturally, in a strange way, drawn to this person. And sometimes it's because you need to kind of complete something that you started in another life. You don't have to do this, right? So in this lifetime, we can actually clear these things. But if this is the route that you're choosing, it's entirely up to you, just so you're well aware. But if there is a connection to this person, it could be that you're trying to learn a lesson from them about yourself, right? Something that you haven't learned in other lifetimes. And this person is just kind of being a mirror to the things that you haven't quite realized. Okay? So, again, our relationships are mirrors of ourselves. There's no way around this. It just is what it is. Um, However, this particular one has more of a karmic type of link. So, to release it very quickly, I would look at what lesson am I not learning in this current relationship, especially if it's causing you pain, like pain, discomfort, a struggle. Okay. Um, Sometimes you need to have time and space to yourself to really know what it is that is trying to be uncovered for you. Okay. So think of it that way. What lesson am I learning in this relationship, or what is the repeated loop that keeps happening? And I don't want to look at it, right? So we don't want to look at it sometimes, but really the best way to figure that out is to get someone to help you that cares for you, to kind of mirror it back to you or ask, what do you see? Or, ask an oracle reader. The reason that's why we're here is they're good mirrors for you. You can do all this on your own, okay? It's just sometimes when you're in it, it's very difficult to see. So that would be the issue that I'm seeing in deck 1. And what I would ask is, what emotion does this bring up in you? And does it remind you of anything of your past relationships? And are you ready to let go of that lesson? So that would be card 1. So card 2. Seduction, allure, desire, and manipulation. All right. So card 2. It's a bit of a heavier card in some ways. So what am I getting for this card? So I'm getting like there's maybe perhaps a dishonesty or an acting on your or your partner's part. So not being your full self. Now, most people in this world are not their full selves. They wear kind of like little masks because they don't feel good enough, right? And so right away I got not feeling good enough, having to be someone else, okay? So just remember though, when you are putting on a mask for the purpose of trying to be good enough, it'll never work, right? So it never works. There's always, the desire will always be there because it's not transmuted into something complete. So what that means is there'll always be a loop open. So I would ask myself, what areas do I not feel good enough in? Where did I learn that nonsense from? Because it's all nonsense. Ultimately, we're aspects of the Creator. We are good enough, okay? It's just that for whatever reason you believe you're not because of what you're taught or what you see, say even silly things like the media, movies, stories, okay? But in order for you to have a good relationship, like one that I'm getting that you really want, you have to come at it from your true self, meaning you have to be okay with showing who you really are, right? In order for you to magnetize or attract to you the right partner for you. Now you can decide what it is for you, but I can tell you energy will not hold if it's not within you. So if you don't feel good enough, no matter what techniques or things you're trying to be with this person, it'll never be good enough because that's the basis of the energy. So the foundation of the energy is not strong. It's very it's weak and crumbly, right? So be brave, I'm getting, for card 2. Sorry, it's a bit heavy, but it is what it is. So let's get to where, I'm assuming when you get here, you want to get to what you want. You want to have a relationship with someone who you truly care for. So we have to be like, okay, what am I approaching this from? What angle am I using? And is it lifelong that I can do this, right? Can I pretend I'm someone I'm not? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? So that's the card number 2 I'd ask myself. Where do I not feel good enough? And is this worth it? Okay? All right. So the last card we got, the last pile, number 3, if you chose number 3. Burnt by the sun, ambition, extension, and reach. So I'm getting right away. These are for people that have been very focused on career. Extending yourself, making yourself in the world, right? So like kind of that kind of feeling, like the ambition of that, and that ultimately it's making you feel empty, okay? Because again, ambition can be natural. It can be something that comes from within, but if it's not, it will feel arduous. You'll feel tired. You won't feel fulfilled. So you'll get to that top of the mountain. And you're like, what next? What the heck? Like, that wasn't worth it, right? So it's kind of that feeling. So burnt by the sun, right? So again, well, not again, this is slightly different. So looking at where you are right now, you got to ask yourself, is this where I want to be? And if it's not, if this isn't really vibing with you, you have to be like, okay, so did I pursue something because I wanted to, or because I thought I should, or because I thought I would be worthy if I did, right? So these are heavy cards, but it is what it is, right? It's time of darkness, and before Halloween, you're going to go inside. You got to really look at this stuff. If you want to get what you want, you have to be honest with yourself. So the first thing is be honest with yourself. And it's okay if you pursued something and it didn't fulfill you. It's okay. So now you know that that is not for you. That is not for you, okay? Or there's still more to be fulfilled by, right? So it could be that you enjoy your current career, occupation, but you want to add more things into your life. But that means you have to put energy into aspects that you want. If you want a relationship, you have to be willing to do the inner work for yourself, and also the work to find that person, to be open and vulnerable to find someone who's right for you. Now, I'm one of those people where it's up to you who you choose to be with, but I know how energy works. If you want to be on the higher timeline, and I always think, well, why not? Right? But it's just, again, an illusion if you're not. But if you don't want to be, that's fine. I'm just saying, if you want to be, if you kind of want to cut out all the nonsense, right? You have to be honest about what ultimately you want. So if you want a career, okay. Do you want family? Do you want a relationship? This is important. And it's important to do now. Don't wait to do it in a year where you're totally burnt out and then you don't even know if you want your career. Because sometimes you burn out just not because the career isn't right for you, it's because you're not having joy or fun in other areas of your life. This is important, like your life as a whole. It's not one aspect, right? So yeah, you succeed in one area but not in the others. What's the point, right? So ultimately we'll burn out in any area that we're not actually trying to fulfill ourselves in, if that makes any sense. So I would ask myself, did I attain what I wanted, or did I pursue something that wasn't mine? And what do I ultimately want? So in 10 years from now, what do I see in my life? Do I see a relationship? Well, I got to start putting energy into that as well, which also means putting a lot of nurturing energy into yourself, because that's what relationships are for, right? So sit with those questions. I know these are bigger questions, but that's the kind of reader I am. I want to get to the point, right? Because I hope you want to get to the point. Hoping you don't want to take years and years and years to get to what it is you want. Okay? So hopefully that helps. Pile number 3. So again, these are from the Vampire, and I found this cool little board for Halloween for palmistry, which is a very interesting study. So hopefully that helps. If you want something a little bit more specific for yourself, I do have an Etsy shop where I believe my love readings are on right now. I think they might be on sale, but either way, you'll get a way more in-depth reading. But sit with these questions. Be willing to be uncomfortable when you're trying to find love, when you're trying to find a relationship. Be willing to be uncomfortable, right? But it's worth it. It's worth it in the long run if you're really wanting to find that true person for you. So hopefully this helps. And again, I'm Lady Grace, and I'll talk to you soon.